morning, everybody. We're from JOKARS, and this is our presentation about our Lego role project.
My name's Scott. When we started working together, none of us had really worked with Legos that much or each other, so the first thing we had to do is figure out each other's strong points and where we wanted to go with the design and everything. Once we focused on and agreed on what we were going to do, which was a car with a winch, we broke down into a design team as well as programming team and started going together to have a final product. If y'all want to talk about your design efforts for a minute.
Yeah, sure. So basically the mechanical aspect of the design started with me just picking up stuff and wanting to do a car. And first we picked up a frame, and then from there started looking at steering. One option for steering was to have, actually I'm going to find it really quick. One option for steering was to have simply this piece move like this and the whole axle in front would turn, but I found it a little bit less appealing than to have it move with like a steering arm, just like this. So that was the steering portion of it.
Okay, so I designed the winch or the crane. So we were thinking about putting a magnet on the end of it, and then if possibly it could pick something up. So my first idea was to have it so like the string comes down here, and then it lifts it up, and then it pushes it up against the touch sensor, so that tells it to stop. But we were having problems with it like sliding behind it or not touching it. So finally we added a little piece, you can't really see it, but it makes it so it's basically just one of these three thingies right here, and it comes up and it pushes that thing into it. We've still had some problems with it. Our motor does not have enough power right now, so.
Yeah, it's a little different, I've noticed, when you're building it completely from scratch. There's a lot more quirks involved. Yeah. Especially at the end, because that seems to be where it all comes together. A couple things that we tried that we had to redo. Well, anyway, one thing I wanted this thing to do was have suspension in the back. So I thought it would be cool. I wanted it to be more. I wanted it to be awesome. And the first design I had was to just pivot like that with these two pieces locked. And I thought it'd be cooler if it kind of like flexed up on stuff. And, you know, could actually articulate it. So I built a little differential, and that was the first glimpse of it. Put it on the back so that the motor, so that there was a drive shaft and everything like that. Like a two-link suspension, so everything moved and flexed. And that didn't really work at all because all the parts were super, you know, they're Legos. They're not. That's pretty complicated for these, yeah. And ended up scrapping that and doing just a regular solid car, which is good. It's functional. Functional's good.
Programming team, y'all want to cover yours?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, with our original plan for the robot was this complex series of things we were supposed to do and tasks. So that was what we originally had in mind for the programming. We were going to follow like a line, so we could, like a pathway that we had created, and eventually it'd come to an obstacle, stop and go around it, and then the second obstacle, stop, and then that winch with the magnet would drop down, pick up something, go back up, and then possibly go back around that line path. It was way too complicated, but our original programming did have a line following program, but we ended up not using it, and that was what I had designed in the programming.
And then we found out that it's sometimes best to just keep it simple. We have a bit, just a whole bunch of loops, and we start getting the loops kind of confused here and there, and then we're like, you know, let's just get back down to basics.
So our final design ends up being a fully automated vehicle that'll go to a preset area to pick up whatever's there.
Oh, and here also, here's a little, what it looked like beforehand in the middle of the process.
If you want to prep our robot, we'll get it set up for downstretch. Is what it's set to do is to start off the light sensor, and then it'll go through a series of sensing distance to know when to stop, turn, and to pick up whatever object is there. The motor was a little stronger. I think the batteries are weak. But there's your automated car with a latch.
Okay, yep, thank you.